Gator Dave, how we doing, sir?
We are good, Mike. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. We're here for another week, week 7, believe it or not.
We're over the
It's
hump.
it's cooking. It's cooking right along here. Season is
It
cooking right along.
it
Rough
is.
rough week for me last week. You finally got me in one. You crept back a little bit, but we both need a strong week this week. And then the reason being we're seeing eye to eye on a good bit of these picks here. So it'll be
My gut
interesting.
told me we might. We
Yeah,
might. We
I mean
might. So
there's some good matchups and there's some sketchy ones too, and you didn't lay off the sketchy ones, so it'll be good times. Yeah,
I threw the sketchies that way. So for sure. So well, we want to remind everybody we're Bet Utopia, your number one location for all things sports betting. Please like, subscribe, follow, all that cool stuff. Remember, check us out on our podcast on Apple Podcast or Spotify or any of your podcast outlets that are out there. Live shows Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. More time for those wagers on those Thursday and Friday games. So yeah, we're starting getting in the meat now. So getting rid of those wankety schmankety games, and now we're starting to get into our schedules and a little bit more to pick from. But I had to throw you a few curveballs, Mike, just so you could feel a little bit. But I guess you saw after I sent you my picks, I'm like, wow, it's a little SEC heavy for some reason. I don't know. That's
yeah. I
just the
don't
way
know.
it.
I don't know where that comes from.
I
Speaking of SEC heavy, why don't you just go ahead and tell us real fast about how was that game last week? I mean, I hate to say I told you so, but
You told me so, and I told you I'd love it if I was wrong about that game. It was absolutely amazing, rocking in the swamp. I mean, the Gators just came out and they rolled and they did what they were supposed to do at the beginning of the year, but they waited for 4 games to happen. So it was super exciting. I mean, people fired up. It was loud. It was proud. It was what we had expected. So we felt good walking out of there singing. It was great to be a Florida Gator, even though we know how the season and how things will happen at the end. We had those blinders on, feeling
hey, you
good,
gotta you
feeling
gotta enjoy the good times, Dave. Gotta enjoy them.
absolutely, absolutely. So why don't we rock into our slate, Mike? So we're gonna start with one of yours first. So and I like it. I like it. I like it. So we have South Florida. And I've been eyeing this game for a couple of weeks, Mike, actually, and I'm glad you picked it. But we've got South Florida at North Texas. South Florida's favored by a point and a half. The over under 67.5. So South Florida 4-1 on the year. North Texas 5-0. USF is 4-1 against the spread. They're over in four in they're over in their 3 last games. The Bulls, big wins over Boise State, my Gators, but they lost to your Hurricanes. That's their one loss on record, and then a couple of lazy games they won handily. So quarterback Byron Brown, I think, is going to be the key in this game, Mike. He's got 1,200 yards, 61%, 10 TDs, 4 interceptions. He's looking good. They're and he's the leading rusher, 282 yards, 4.5 average, 3 TDs. And they've got a couple other backs that have had about 125 to 200 yards. The Bulls' offense is ranked 34th and defense 59th. I mean, that holds some weight considering who they played, right? Boise State, Florida, and Miami. This game, it's going to be a little bit different than the last couple of games. They're going in now. It's conference time. The Mean Green comes in. They haven't played the schedule that USF has, and everybody's touting North Texas as that team, but they haven't played any Power Four teams. So I'm not impressed with who they played up to this point. Now their quarterback Drew Mestamaker. He's got 1,247 yards and 68% and 11 TDs. But again, what's the competition? They got a couple of running backs, McGill and Hawkins, both over 300 yards. Hawkins got 7 TDs. Now, their offense, when you look at the numbers, you just can't compare this. Offense is ranked 8th, defense 42nd. But again, look at the competition. When you look at some of these other teams, Mike, that have, they might have played a couple of cupcakes, but they played a couple of good teams as well. You can kind of take that for what it's worth, but this really doesn't tell it. So North Texas 4-1 against the spread. They played the over 3 of 4 games. USF's just, to me, that they're a stronger team. They got a good red zone, ranked 28th in the nation. They're just more experienced quarterback as well. They're more battle tested, Mike. So, man, this is an easy one for me. I'll take the Bulls in the money line here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's easy play as well. North Texas actually started off as the favorite when this line opened up, and it shifted over to the Bulls being the favorite. And I think that line has definitely corrected itself. I think the Bulls are the better team. You look at the schedule, like you mentioned, the Bulls have played nothing but ranked opponents and won for the most part, other than against Miami. So North Texas on the flip side, weak schedule. You mentioned that Byron Brown, all those good things. I completely agree with you across the board. I like South Florida money line in this one. Under Alex Golesh, the head coach for USF, they are 4-2 against the spread as an away favorite. North Texas is 1-3 against the spread as a home dog under their head coach. Give me the Bulls on a Friday night. That place will be rocking though.
Oh,
Friday
I'm
night
sure it
games are
will.
always Friday night games, Thursday night
Yep.
games, even these Wednesday night games tonight. Won't be watching them. I'll be watching playoff baseball once we get off of here. But they rock. They get after it. A little action. But
That
yeah, give me South Florida here.
That's true. That's true. But I think it's a good call in this game. I think North Texas is a Trojan horse. So, all right, next game, a big one in the Big Ten. We've got Ohio State, number 1 in the land, 14.5 favorite over the Fighting Illini and my friend Donna Beam's team. Over under 49.5. So Ohio State comes in ranked number 1, 5-0. Illinois 17th. They are 4-1. Ohio State's 4-1 against the spread. The Illini 4-1 against the spread as well. Buckeyes beat Texas in the Love Fest in game 1. That's what I'm going to call that. It was just like that touchy-feely game, like who doesn't want to lose? Because we know what Texas is now. All right. Ohio State did beat a Washington team 24-6. They whipped Minnesota last week 42-3, but still not feeling the test yet. Julian saying 1,300 yards, 80% passing. Damn. I bet he's just dropping that ball off, though. 13 TDs, 3 interceptions. Their leading back is the infamous Bo Jackson, 360 yards, 7.5 a carry. They got a couple other good backs in Peoples and Donaldson at 200 each. The Ohio State offense is ranked 22nd, and the defense, Mike, is numero uno. The Illini lost, of course, to Indiana, got spanked 63-10. They beat USC, they beat Duke, and they beat Purdue. So not too shabby. Altmaier, the quarterback's got almost 1,600 yards, 74%, 12 TDs, and a big goose egg on interceptions, which is controlling and taking care of the ball. The running back Valentine, 322 yards, 3 TDs. Fagan's got 316 and 5 TDs, so they like to run that ball. Illini offense, 26. Defense, a very disappointing 72nd. We know Mr. Bielema loves that defense, and he is 72nd right now, so not doing so well. Turnover margin favors Illinois, 5th ranked in the nation. So they Ohio State, obviously they're number 1 in the land at this point. One other point to make is that Illinois is bringing back a running back. I've got some notes here. Aiden Lattery, he was their starting running back beginning of the year. He's coming back. So I think that gives them a little bit of a boost, more to that running game that we're going to see, that ground and pound and control the ball. So I just don't think that I think this is going to be the toughest game Ohio State's seen so far. They're playing at Illinois, and 14.5 points is way too much. Granted, Ohio State will probably win this game, but man, I just couldn't pass it up, Mike. Give me Illinois and that 14.5.
Yeah, I could definitely see why you go that way. Illinois has looked good outside of that one, game against Indiana where they just got the doors blown off them. Luke Altmaier, you got an experienced quarterback, decent offensive line, although they've had some issues this year with giving up some sacks. I think that's the biggest issue for Illinois is going to be their ability to protect Altmaier. You mentioned the running back that they're getting back. That should be a boost for them for sure. I just don't know if they're going to be able to withstand this Ohio State pass rush and this front seven, as well as the secondary for Ohio State. You still got Caleb Downs back there. He's an absolute problem. I'm looking at the under 49.5 in this one, Dave. I think Illinois is going to come to play. I think they have something to prove. I think if they want to compete, they need this one. This is one, Ohio State is one of those teams, especially when you're ranked number one in the land, you're going to get every team's best game every week. And that's what's going to happen here. So I think you could be on the right side of things with that point spread. I think it might be too many points. But I also don't think there's going to be too many points at all in this game. So give me the under in this one. I think it's very classic Big Ten, defensive, running the football, field goals, ugly, keep it on the ground, move on to next week. So yeah, give me the under here.
I like it. I like it. Hey, we got to say shout out to Scott in the chat, Evelyn in the chat, my lovely wife Navon in the chat, and we got Caleb rolling in. So appreciate you folks jumping in the chat with us this evening. So we're going to roll over to the SEC in a very interesting game. We got Alabama going to Mizzou. Alabama right now favored by 3 points. Over under is 51.5. So Alabama's ranked 8th. They're 4-1. Mizzou ranked 14th at 5-0. They got something to prove, obviously. They're 5-0, and Alabama's lost one, and they're coming in their house. Bama's four of 5 against the spread, and over in 3 of 5. Of course, we know Alabama lost that one game to FSU, the big win against the Dogs, and they beat the Commodores last week, who gave them a fight but turned the ball over twice in the red zone. Quarterback Ty Simpson is looking better, Mike. 1478, 70%, 13 TDs, and only 1 interception. So he's bringing it back. Running back Jam Miller in the last couple of games, 182 yards, 4.8 on the ground. The Tide offense is ranked 30th, defense 21st. So the Tigers come in, they've beaten Kansas and they've beaten South Carolina. That's the 2 teams that they're blowing their horn on at this point. Quarterback Bo Pribula, the Penn State number 2 quarterback, rolled down and is now taking care of business at Mizzou. He's got 1,200 yards, 76%, 9 TDs, and 3 interceptions. He's also run for 121 yards. Man, they have the best running back, by the way, in the nation, Ahmad Hardy. 730 yards, 7 yards per carry, and 9 TDs, Mike. He is absolutely slaying it. Mizzou comes in 3-2 against the spread. They've been over in 4 of the last 5 games. Offense ranks 7th and defense 16th. The favorites won each of Missouri's last 9 games. The favorite. And guess who's not the favorite? Mizzou. I think Mizzou comes out a little sluggish in this game because they had some time off. And I think Bama is going to come out because I've kind of looked at what they've done as of late. And I think they're going to come out hard. And I am going to go money line on Bama in the first half, Mike. Not sure how this thing ends up in the end, but I feel pretty strong that Bama goes into halftime with a lead. So that's where I am, sir. What say you?
I say you're on the right track here, Dave. I'm going to go Alabama money line for the full game. Little fun fact here for you. Missouri has actually never beaten Alabama at home. They've lost their last 6 matchups as well. They actually didn't really play that often up until recent years when Missouri has come over to the SEC. So it's relatively fresh in terms of data, but yeah, Missouri has never beaten Alabama at home in Missouri. Alabama, I think, is the better team overall, offensively, defensively. Missouri, I think, is when you look at their schedule, they just haven't played anybody. Alabama has. I think they're the more tenured team in this one. Will Missouri be rocking? Yes. It's going to be at 11 a.m. local kickoff time. I think Alabama gets ready to go pretty quickly in this one. I think they go up early on Missouri, so I like your first half play there. But I like Alabama to hold on and win this one outright as well. Ranked matchup here for Kalen DeBoer. He's lights out against ranked teams. Actually, going into this season, he was 15-3 in his career, including playoffs against top 25 opponents. That's increased this year. Outside of that game against Florida State, he had just had another win against Georgia and Vanderbilt as well. So yeah, give me the Alabama Crimson Tide to get the win here in Missouri and keep their playoff and SEC championship hopes alive here, Dave.
I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. Next, we head to the Sun Belt, the Fun Belt. We got App State at Georgia State. So I'm guessing they're playing at the old Turner Field there, Mike. So App State favored in this one, 2.5. Over under is 55.5. So App State comes in. This is one of them stinky ones that you threw at me. So App State is 3-2. Georgia State is 1-4. App State 2-3 against the spread. Georgia State 1-4 against the spread. App State had the big win against Oregon State last week. Our big boy team, somewhat. They have lost to Boise State and Southern Miss prior. So they're playing the backup quarterback. J.J. Cole was in for Swan against Oregon State last week. You know, we're not 100%, or at least going into my research, not sure yet whether it's Swain or Cole, but I don't think it matters at this point. I think both of them are adequate. Their top running back, Dubignon, has 611 yards. That's like I know he's in the top 5. 5.7 yards per carry, 3 TDs. App State offense, however, is only ranked 97th and defense ranked 90th. But Georgia State comes in with their only win against Murray State. Lost their last 2 against Vandy and James Madison. And against James Madison, Mike, they only ran the ball for 37 yards. Whew. And their quarterback's TJ Finley, who's 35 years old. He's got 725 yards, 66%, 4 TDs, and 3 interceptions. And the running backs only run for 195. Offense ranked 122. Defense ranked 132. Can't get much worse than that, Mike. I see why you picked this game, because I think App State's going to take care of business, and I'll take App State in the money line all day long. But tell me what's different. No?
Nothing. I got nothing for you that's different. I'm on App State money line also. Yeah, I think it's a pretty easy one. I think this one's a layup. You look at that Georgia State defense; they are terrible. They are giving up over 220 yards on the ground and in the air, equaling almost 460 total yards a game, giving up 41 points per game right now is that Georgia State defense. Then you look on the flip side, on the offensive side of the football for the Panthers, they cannot run the football. They are ranked over 120 in the nation when it comes in terms of running the football, averaging under 100 yards a game as a team running the football. And that's App State's best perk, you could say, on defense is their ability to stop the run. They're giving up less than 90 yards a game. You mentioned the quarterback situation for App State. I don't think it matters either. I think they're going to be able to run the football. I think they'll be able to pass the football. And this defense will probably be able to turn the football over a few times on this Georgia State team. Give me App State all day long. I think this one's a lock. I'm with you. App State money line.
That was a good call, Mike. Really was. I mean, wow. Diamond in the rough. It was sweet. All right. Next game, we're going to go to the Big 12, and we got TCU at Kansas State. Kansas State at -1.5, over under 55.5. TCU comes in the game 4-1. Kansas State is a ugly 2-4. Pick to win the Big 12. Guess what? They're not. TCU 3-1 and 1 against the spread. Kansas State is 2-1 against the spread. TCU's lone loss was against Arizona State by only 3. Wins over SMU and Colorado last week. Josh Hoover tearing it up. 1,500 yards, 67%, 15 TDs, 4 interceptions. Their running back is Brands, has 204 yards, 5.5 average. Battle has 154, 5.7 average. They are doing well on offense. Ranked 28. Defense ranked 58. KSU lost 3 of their last 4 games. The one win to UCF by 14. I think that was an anomaly. Last week, 1-point loss to Baylor. They're just an inconsistent team right now. Johnson, last 3 passing yards go like this: 88, 168, 344. He's all over the board. He's had 1,300 yards, but just totally inconsistent. The whole team is. He's also the leading rusher at 209. They've got nothing else really going. Wildcats offense 77th, defense 93rd. K-State's defense struggles big time. TCU's got a strong pass offense. We talked about that. Man, I think this is another easy one. I see why you took this one, Mike, and give me TCU, and I'll take the 1.5.
Yeah, the line has changed. I think it's sitting at -1.5 right now. We were talking about that in the pre-show, so it's
Yep.
moved a little bit from since the graphics were made, I guess you could say. So our graphics say TCU +1.5. I don't think it matters. Just take TCU on the money line if they are at -1.5. I'm with you. I think they're the better team. We talked about this Kansas State team a few times now this year. I just can't trust them. I still can't trust them. Can't trust Kleinman, the head coach. Avery Johnson, the quarterback, is having a surprisingly good year for the lack of success that Kansas State has had as a whole. But I think TCU is too much. You mentioned Josh Hoover at quarterback. They got weapons outside at wide receiver. Their defense is great. Give me TCU to go on the road, get it done here in this one as well.
All right. We are there. So we're going to stay in the Big 12. We're going to go with our friends Iowa State. They're favored by 3 over Colorado. Over under on this one is 52.5. So Iowa State's 5-1. With the loss last week, darn it. They're now ranked 22nd. Colorado is 2-4. Both teams come in 3-3 against the spread. So the Cyclones, disappointing loss at Cincinnati. Vegas knew. They knew, but I didn't listen, right? Should have listened to Vegas. Cyclones have beaten K-State, Iowa, and Arizona so far. So they got a pretty good record and resume. Rocco Beck looking good, 1,400 yards, 65%, 9 TDs, 2 interceptions. Their running back Hansen has 348, and their running back Sema has 304. So they're running the ball quite well. Offense ranked 56, defense 31st. The Buffs and our buddy Dion having a rough year. They've beaten Delaware and Wyoming. Losses to Georgia Tech, Houston, BYU, TCU. They played a decent schedule, but they've lost. And when I looked at kind of comparison games, I looked at the BYU game, right? When I kind of compared things. And I think that when I was trying to look at stats, and I think Iowa State's going to be pissed from last week. I really are. They should have beaten Cincinnati. I mean, I didn't see that one coming. I think they're going to be mad. I think they're going to come in pissed off. Colorado, on the other hand, quarterback Slater is 901 yards, 66%, 7 TDs, 4 interceptions. He's run for 213 and 5 TDs. Running back Welsh has 250 and a TD. Colorado's had struggles closing games out. They've had leads, a couple of leads, and they've blown it toward the latter part of the game. They've got a high turnover rate right now. Salter's thrown interceptions. I just think they're a mess right now, turnover wise. So give me Iowa State in the money line in this one.
I'm going to change my bet, Dave. I'm changing my
All right.
bet.
Let's do it.
I was going to go Iowa State on the money line as well. And the reasons being all of that what you just said. They look like the more complete team. Rocco Beck, great quarterback. They got a good running game. Pretty good defense. Good head coach, Matt Campbell. Coming off a good year last year. Should have a good run through the Big 12. No doubt about it. For me, this game is a little bit more than X's and O's. It's about the Jimmies and Joes here, Dave, and that's why I'm gonna switch and go Colorado. Deion Sanders, we wish him well. He's dealing with some new issues going on with potential blood clots going on in his leg and stuff. He's having issues going. He had to only wear one shoe in last week's game on the sideline. So he may not even be at this game, or he might be up in the press box for this one. But Deion, when he's around his team, he is a presence, and especially at home as an underdog, they are 5-1 against the spread at home as an underdog. I think they rally for this one. Iowa State has actually lost their last 13 of 14 games when playing in Boulder, Colorado. The line opened at -4.5 for Iowa State. It's now dropped down to, the graphic says 3. It's actually down to 2.5 now. Give me Colorado plus the 3 for the show. But I like Colorado to maybe even sneak this one out and win this one out right here. Gator Dave. Give me Colorado plus the points.
Interesting. Well, of course, we all love Deion, especially us Dallas Cowboy fans. So had to bring that up. All right. Next game, we're gonna finally roll. We're gonna roll in another SEC game here. We are hitting Mike the Red River Shootout. So we got Oklahoma playing against those mean, tough, rough, badass Texas Longhorns. Texas is favored in this one, 1.5 points. Of course, they were favored by a lot more before, and now it's a lot less because there's a chance Mateer might play. But I'm not going to count on Mr. Mateer because I don't think he'll play. The Sooners come in ranked 6th in the land, 5-0 on the year. Texas 3-2. They are now out of the top 25. Oklahoma's 3-2 against the spread. Texas is 1-4 against the spread. Oklahoma's big wins over Michigan, Auburn. Of course, that's with John Mateer at the helm. I don't think he's going to play. I'm going to leave it at that. Last weekend, they beat up on a tough Kent State team, 44-0. Hawkins in for Mateer was 14 of 24, 162, and 3 TDs. Their running back, Blaylock, 257 yards, 4.5 a carry, 3 TDs. Obviously, it's going to be a big hole if Mateer doesn't play. Sooners offense is ranked 46 with him. The key is their defense is ranked 2nd. And John Mateer doesn't play it down on defense. So remember that one. Longhorns have dropped out of the top 25. They really haven't beaten any good teams, Mike, at all. Arch on the year, 11.51 and 60%. And they don't have a running back over 160 yards. They were supposed to be the running backs, just the stable back there, and they don't have it. They couldn't run crap against us. Their offense is ranked 63rd. Defense is ranked 5th. I wouldn't have believed that in the swamp on Saturday. Texas hasn't looked good on either side of the ball against my Gators. They finally play another good team or a halfway decent team. I think Brent Venables is going to be road ass ready in this game. And I think that defense is going to rise to the occasion because Mateer's going to be on the sideline rooting the team along. I'm going to give this one of those rah-rahs because obviously it's one of those big games, those rivalry games. So Mike, I'm going to say even without Mateer, give me Oklahoma. I'll take the 1.5, but I think they win the game, Mike.
Yeah, I'm with you. Either John Mateer plays or he doesn't. Michael Hawkins is a more than capable backup. He was supposed to be the starter for Oklahoma this year until Mateer transferred in. And when he's come in, he's been just fine as quarterback. So I'm with you. Give me Oklahoma plus the 1.5 in this one. I will say on the side of Texas, this is a game with them sitting at 2 losses and out of the top 25. This is a must-win for them. Everything is a must-win for them. But it's also one of those games where you can play a little bit more loose because you don't really have anything to lose at this point. It's really kind of win or go home. You're not really expected to make it now. I was really surprised that the committee or that the AP, not the committee, but the Associated Press actually knocked them out of the top 25 this week when you have other teams like Florida State who still has 2 losses and they're still in the top 25. There's another team as well that's escaping me that has 2 losses. It's also still in the top 25, I think. But, this is a win or go home, literally, for Texas. I just don't have faith in them. We discussed the Florida-Texas game last week. I told you that Florida was going to win that one, and we saw what happened. Texas they have a great defense. Arch Manning, he's not there yet. He's just not there yet. There's flashes of it. There was flashes of it against your Gators where he made some really great ball throws, dimes with pressure in his face, right over the top for a beautiful touchdown, I remember, on one play. But then he makes some bonehead plays on some others, and he scrambles when he shouldn't, and some of his throws he overthrows pretty badly. I just think this Oklahoma team is going to be more prepared. Texas, I believe, whooped them last year pretty badly. Was it a shutout? It was like 40.
It was
it
a whipping.
49-0, or was that 2 years ago? Either way, Sarkisian's kind of whooped them up pretty good the last few years. I think this is a get-back game for Oklahoma, and they're able to give it back to the Longhorns. A little Carmadou kind of thing. So, yeah, give me the Sooners.
Yeah.
Shout out as well to my main man, Glenn.
Glenn. Got it. And you got a shout out to your mom, Linda, who's on the chat.
Shout out to my main lady, my mama.
There you go. Hey, I want to
There you
take this
go.
opportunity while we're talking about Texas now to go with my, I guess, piss off on at the beginning of the year, the soothsayers, the experts, the ones that knew it all, had 3 teams in the top 4, Mike. They had Texas. They had Clemson. They had Penn State. All in the top 4. And they sold us, and they sold us, and they sold us. And where might those 3 teams be right now, Mike? Not all the way down there, but they're out of the top 25. That just tells you how all this hype and BS no one knows. And it just, it's crazy.
Well,
It's
it also
absolutely
shows you
crazy.
just like the day and age and the era that we're moving into with this NIL stuff, how the playing field is just going to be more and more leveled. Like for example, I don't know if you saw this earlier today, but Stanford, there was a former player for Stanford just wrote them a $50 million check to go towards their athletic program and the NIL because of where Stanford's been the last few years because they haven't had that funding. $50 million, that's a lot. You can do
That's a
you
lot of jack.
look at what Texas Tech has done. Look at what Ohio
Kansas.
State has done,
Kansas
Oregon.
just got it.
This is the new day and age. They're going to be buying a roster, and it's going to be what teams can spend the most money. But when there really is no salary cap for that right now, it's kind of like the Wild Wild West, where it's going to be biggest donor wins, and that's why
It
you
is.
still see some of these bigger schools, taking precedent and kind of holding their reign right now. But it's going to start to teeter, and you're going to have these games that they should, on paper, it shouldn't be close, but at the end, when you look up at the scoreboard at the end of the game, they're going to be closer than what people think. So there's definite parity right now, and
It
it's
is.
interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is, and it's kind of cool that it's spreading its wings. I like it, actually. I like it.
Yep.
So, all right, next game.
It's
Big Ten
good for
again. We're
competition.
gonna Yes, absolutely. So we're going Iowa. They are favored by 3.5 at Wisconsin, and our friend up there on the super smoking hot seat, over under 35.5. Woo! Iowa comes in the game ranked. Actually, their record is 3-2. They're 4-1 against the spread, and they have been under in 3 of 5 games. Not 5 of 5, Mike. Only 3 of 5. Iowa's biggest win against Rutgers. Losses to real teams like Indiana and Iowa State in close games. Their quarterback, Gronoski, 638, 64%, 3 TDs, 2 interceptions. They got a couple of running backs between 150 and 200 yards. Offense ranks 65th. Not too bad for an Iowa offense. And their defense is ranked as sturdy 19th. Wisconsin, they've lost their last 3 games to Bama, Maryland, and Michigan. Not that that's an easy schedule at all. Their quarterback, Hunter Simmons, which is where they are right now, 247 yards, 66%, 1-1. Their running back, Jones, 217 and 2 TDs. So Wisconsin is 2-3, 2-3 against the spread, and they've been under in 3 of their last 5 games. Their offense, Mike, is ranked 119er, 119th. No wonder it's only 35.5. The defense is, however, ranked 39th. In previous meetings last season, Iowa beat them 42-10 last year. Now that was at Iowa. Yes, it was at Iowa. So rather interesting. They won the last 3 meetings against Wisconsin. Hawkeyes, they're better. They're better on offense. They're better on defense. They're winning by an average of 18.5 points. Mike, this is a pretty easy one. I say that Iowa, better team, and will cover 3.5. Easy win by probably only 7 because there won't be but 30 points scored in the game, but they will cover 3.5 points, sir.
Yeah, you just said the key phrase right there at the end, Dave. There only is going to be 30 points in the game. So
You're going
I'm
the
going
under.
with the under 35 and a half. Anytime you see Iowa and the number 3 starting that total number, just go ahead and take the under. We're back to Dorble. The world is getting back on path here, Dave. Give me Iowa, Wisconsin under 35 and a half. I will say I do like the Iowa side a lot. I was really torn between Iowa minus 3.5 and the under. I think they're both the side to go on. Iowa's won 4 of the last 5. They're 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 matchups, allowing only 14 points per game to Wisconsin. Over the last 5 matchups, Wisconsin's only scoring 12 points per game against Iowa. I think Iowa's definitely the side if you're looking at one here, but give me the under 35.5.
All right. I like it. I like it for sure. I was there too. Just which way to go. All right, here we go. Next game. Very important. Muy importante. We have Florida Gators at Texas A&M. So Texas A&M favored by 7.5 points. The over/under is 46.5. Gators come in 2-3. Texas A&M is 5-0 and ranked fifth in the nation. Obviously, we talked about it. Florida, a huge win over last week over Texas, 29-21. Defense was flat smothering. I mean, they had poor, poor, poor kid, Mr. Arch, just on his back, running for his life. It was so awesome. I mean, it kind of reminded me of the last year when we played LSU, and we were doing the same to Nussmeier, because the same thing happened to Arch. We had him going all night. Crowd caused a number of penalties, as loud as they were. So it was a rough night for them. Now, the exciting thing about defense is that, we've got 3 or 4 starters out, have been out for this last game. So a lot of folks stepped up, which was pretty impressive. 6 sacks in the game. We got to see the debut of our 5-star stud receiver, Dallas Wilson. 6 receptions, 111 yards, and 2 TDs. And Mike, this is why I kind of changed as I started thinking about the line on this game. I think this kid, and I told you at the beginning of the year, he is a game changer, Dallas Wilson. On the year, Lagways, he's got 988, 70%, 7 TDs. Jaden Ball, great running back. He looked awesome in the game against Texas. He's got 396, 5.5 a carry, 3 TDs. Offense is only ranked 97th, defense 26th, which is carrying us. Hopefully the offense can continue to roll, but it's going to be tough with our schedule. So the Aggies, they beaten big boy teams. They beat Notre Dame. They beaten Auburn. They beat Mississippi State last week, 31-9. However, they were tight through 3 quarters, so keep that in mind. So the Aggie quarterback, Marcel Reed, 1256, 60%, 11 TDs, 3 interceptions. Le'Veon Moss, 343 on yards, 5 TDs. Offense ranked 42nd, defense ranked 48th. There is a good chance Moss will not be playing in this game. Florida is 2-3 against the spread. Aggies are only 2-3 against the spread. Something to consider. They're playing in Kyle Field, tough place to play. Easy they get 3 points from playing in there. I think the Swamp gives the Gators 7, but I think they get at least 3, if not 7, by playing in Kyle Field because of the crowd. Florida has not played well on the road. Billy's 0-9 against ranked teams against the spread on the road. 0-9. Lagway was limping around at the end of that game. I'm a little concerned about that. But, Mike, I'm more concerned about the hook, meaning 7.5. I believe the moon's aligned and Lagway's not hurt, that we can keep it close and we can keep it to 7. Thus, I am going with the Gators at plus 7.5 here, Mike.
I'm with you, Dave. I think you made the right call in switching over to your Gators. I'm not going to lie, though. Usually, when you go against your Gators and I'm on them, I'm usually in a good spot. So I was a little disappointed when you said you were going to switch at the beginning. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. But I think that you're on the right track here with your Gators, and I think they're ultimately on the right track. You look at this defense, they've played lights out all year long. It's really just been the offense that's been lagging behind with Lagway at quarterback. They got to get it going, but they finally got that stud of a freshman, Dallas Wilson, you mentioned. I mean, that kid is going to be electric. To have him 2 more years, you're just as lucky as us with Malachi Tony. These guys are ready to go, and they make a difference when they're in the ball game. Couple quick notes in this one. Florida has lost 3 of their last 4 against Texas A&M, but Texas A&M, when playing at home in Kyle Field, believe it or not, against Florida, they've lost 2 of their last 3. And in between these two teams, the last 4 times they've met, the underdog has won outright. So things to consider there, as well as the fact that Texas A&M and Mike Elko are one of the worst against the spread teams. They're out there. Last year, Texas A&M under Mike Elko in his first year went 3-10 against the spread. Against the spread as a home favorite under Mike Elko, Texas A&M, including last year and this year, they are just 3-7 as well against the spread. So I think the biggest thing here is that hook that you mentioned, that 7.5. Those half points really come in handy, especially in these conference games. You also look at the total sitting at 46.5. That's a low total for a college football game. So something to consider there. Usually, when you have a low total, usually it coincides as well with the underdog kind of same side situation. So I'm with you. I think the Gators keep the momentum up. I'd also probably look at the under here if I had to, but yeah, I think the Gators got the 7.5, and I think they might win this one outright, much to your chagrin, Mr. Gator Dave, because that means Bayou Billy is not going bye-bye anytime soon. Nope, he's hanging
End of the
around for a
year.
while. Oh, I
Hey,
don't
hey,
know.
I'm good
I
with
don't
him
know.
staying
That's
around to the end of the year to keep these players. We
two
need him
top 10
staying
wins, two top
as
10
long as
wins, and one of them. I don't
it
know.
doesn't. It's
I
not
don't
going to
know.
matter. It's not going to matter. He's got to win out,
I
Mike.
don't
He's got
know.
to win out. He's a
Oh
goner.
man, wouldn't
He's got to
that
win
wouldn't
out.
that be a nightmare for you?
What's that? Him winning out?
Yeah.
That would be a nightmare. All right. So, all right, let's stay in the SEC, Mike, and go to the other side of the family here in the Guerin household. We're doing Georgia is 3.5-point favorite at Auburn, over under 46.5. So dogs have to travel to the plains. They're 4-1 on the year, ranked 10th in the nation, while War Eagle is 3-2, and they're not ranked. The dogs, of course, lost to Bama. Wins against the Vols, wins against Kentucky last weekend. And Mike, the dogs actually covered. They are now 1-16 covering. Stockton on the year, 1,000 yards, 69%, 6 TDs, and an interception. Running back Bowen, 515 yards and 3 TDs. Frazier's got 250 yards and 3 TDs. The Dogs' offense ranked 43rd. The defense ranked 32nd. I mean, these numbers are crazy for the Dogs, but hey, man, they're still ranked up there. UGA, again, like I said, 1-16 against the spread, and they've been over in 3 of their last 5 games, which was kind of where I was thinking, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Auburn, close losses to Oklahoma and Texas A&M. Quarterback Jackson Arnold, 846, 65%, 5 TDs, no interceptions. Their running back Cobb has 403, 6.9 a carry, and 4 TDs. Auburn is only 2-3 against the spread and under in 4 of their last 5 games. Huge game for both teams. Here's what I think. I mean, Auburn, man, they need a win bad. They need a conference win bad. But the Dogs cannot afford a loss. They drop one here, it's going to be tough to get to the playoffs. They might have to end up backdooring, sneaking into the SEC championship and winning to get in. I don't know. But this is an important game for both teams, and we know this is one of those rivalry games, right? But here's my thought. I think Kirby's going to have these guys ready for this team. I don't think Auburn's got the firepower. Give me the Dogs to roll and cover the spread for the second week in a row, Mike. I think they win by 7.
Yeah, and I ultimately lean that side as well, which makes me nervous. Because Georgia is just one of those teams that, when I'm on their side, the other team wins. When I'm against them, Georgia blows them out. That's why I'm usually on the first half against Georgia in these. But I'm going to go with the under in this one, Gator Dave. I'm going to go with the under 46 and a half. Since 2014, the under is hit 9 times in this matchup, believe it or not. So that's the safest bet for me where I'm going to go for these reasons. Some things to consider in this one, some numbers. I know you love the numbers. Georgia has won 3 straight against Auburn. Average point differential in those is 12 points per game. So that sits well with your Georgia minus 3.5 bet. As well as Georgia is 11-4 against the spread versus Auburn since 2011. Also bodes well for your pick there. However, in the last 2 years since Hugh Freeze has taken over as Auburn's head coach, they have lost both of those against the spread games against Auburn. Auburn under Hugh Freeze is 3-1 as a home dog against the spread, and they have also covered the last 3 games against UGA, but they have lost their last 11 of 12 to the Bulldogs. So I think this one, I mean, it's a rivalry, right? What do they call it? The Deep South's oldest rivalry. They've played like 130 times or something like that in the history of these two teams. It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be one of those classic SEC games, more defense, heavy hits, lucky to get the ball past the 40-yard line on either team's side. So, yeah, give me under 46.5. I do like Georgia minus 3.5. Something about it with that hook, something weird, something weird. So, yeah, little bit of a shaky of the hand there. You're right, 100%. Maybe like a 23-20 type of game. I could see it. But it shouldn't be that way. Georgia should handle business and be able to, because Auburn can't do anything. They're one-dimensional. They run the football. If they force Jackson Arnold to throw the football, Georgia will win by double digits, and they'll be up by double digits at halftime.
Yep.
So
that's it. That's the way it
actually,
should go.
one more quick note.
Yes.
On this one, the Georgia Bulldogs have won 3 straight at Auburn.
Ooh, that's good.
Last little tidbit there.
I like it. I like all those tidbits there, Mike, in my favor. So we're gonna stay in the SEC, Mike. We got them all clumped in the middle there. I see how you did this. So we going to South Carolina. South Carolina, actually, we're not going to South Carolina. We're going to Baton Rouge, but South Carolina is headed to Baton Rouge to play LSU. LSU is favored by 8.5, over under 44.5. South Carolina rolls in there 3-2. LSU is 4-1 and ranked 11th. They're about the ugliest damn 4-1 team I think we've got out there. So South Carolina's offense ranked only 91st. However, the defense is 33rd. South Carolina losses to Vandy, to Mizzou, wins over Virginia Tech and Kentucky. Gamecock quarterback Sellers is 886 and 67%, only 4 TDs, 1 interception. He's run for 98 yards and a TD. Faison, their running back, 163 yards and 3 TDs. So that's why that offense is only ranked 91st. They were supposed to be a lot better than that. Gamecocks are 3-2 against the spread and 3 of 5 in the under. They've only played 1 game away from their spot there in South Carolina, and that was against Mizzou, and they lost that game. Tigers 2-3 against the spread, under in 4 or 5 games. They are ranked on offense, Mike, 80th. So we've got, amazingly, the 91st South Carolina offense against the 80th LSU defense. Ugh. I mean, offense, excuse me, 91 to 80. And the Tigers defense is ranked 6th. So sounds like we got a defensive game going on here. So Nussmeier, 11, 59, 67%, 7 TDs, 3 interceptions. Their leading rusher has only 213 yards. They're not running the ball well. LSU's offense, like I said, struggling running the ball. Nuss has had to run around a lot. That offensive line, I told you at the beginning of the year, was not that great. They've had trouble. Turnover margin goes in favor of the Gamecocks. Quite a big margin against LSU. I think LSU's going to win this game, but I don't see them winning by more than 7. I think this is one of the most overrated. I think they're going to get exposed by a South Carolina team that's all right. So give me the South Carolina Gamecocks, and I'll take 8.5 points here, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I could see why you would lean that way. I just can't do it.
It's
South Carolina,
tough.
their offenses look terrible. Their offense has
It's not
looked
good.
terrible. They got Lenore Sellers at quarterback. He's had a little bit of issues staying healthy, but I mean, that was a Heisman favorite going into this
Yeah.
year, and their offense is literally one of the worst in the entire nation. Still, up until this point in the season, they just have not been able to get it going. Now they're going to Baton Rouge for a night game to face a Tiger team off a bye week. I do not see how South Carolina wins this one. Absolutely, 8.5 is a good bit of points when you're talking about an SEC matchup. Um, I could see them doing it. It really worries me as to what offense you're going to get with South Carolina. And in terms of this series, LSU absolutely owns South Carolina. They are 20-2 all time against South Carolina. They've played 8 times since 1994. LSU has won all of them. South Carolina has not beaten LSU since 1994. Brian Kelly, the head coach of LSU, is one of the best coaches off a bye week of all time. In his career, going into this year, he is 30-12 straight up off a bye, 5-2 straight up while at LSU. LSU is 7-2 against the spread off their last 9 off a bye. Um, this is the second time these two teams have played since 2020. LSU blew them out in 2020, and South Carolina lost again to LSU last year in a game that knocked South Carolina out of the playoffs, and Lenore Sellers got hurt in. And South Carolina jumped out early, and Lenore Sellers got hurt. LSU came back, ended up winning that game. A little bit of a revenge factor here, a little bit of emotion in this one. Initially, I picked the under 44.5 here. Again, it's a low total. But I think that South Carolina does come into this one with a little bit of something to prove. They want this one bad. They've had this one circled, specifically their quarterback has had this one circled. And it's also a game for both teams that they need in order to stay alive in this playoff. South Carolina more so than LSU. So I think it's going to be no holds barred. Anything goes. So I'm actually going to switch my pick around. I had him under 44.5. I'm going to go with the over 44.5 in this one, Dave. I think that South Carolina is able to find some success on offense. We'll see how much. But yeah, give me the over 44.5 here.
All righty. I like it. I like it. All right. We are going to hit the last game of the U2 cast tonight. So we are going out to, not all the way to the west, but close enough. We're going to the Big 12, And we're going to look at Arizona State at Utah. And Arizona State comes in to Utah with Utah getting 6 points. Over-under is 48.5. Arizona State ranked 21st in the land, 4-1. Utah is 4-1 as well. The Sun Devils are 2-2-1 against the spread, but Utah is 4-1. Arizona State has big wins 2 weeks ago. They've beaten Baylor. They lost to Michigan State. Levitt is Sam Levitt, 1039, 63%, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Done okay. He's run the ball for 281 and 5 TDs. Brown, their running back, has 506 yards, 6.6 a carry, and 2 TDs. Sun Devil offense is ranked 66. Defense is 50th. Utah comes in with wins over UCLA, West Virginia, lost by 24 at home against Texas Tech, who I think is going to probably win the Big 12 at this point. Again, we go to the money there we talked about earlier. Quarterback Devin Dampier, 1,000 yards, 72%, 11 TDs, 3 interceptions. He's rushed for 258 and a couple of TDs. They got 2 running backs, Parker at 280, Rogers at 250, so they run the ball well. Utah's offense ranked 18th, defense 16th, but I think Arizona State's played a tougher schedule by far. Arizona State rolls into this matchup 2-0 in conference play, and they've scored 27 points or more in 3 straight games. Red zone offense goes to the Arizona State side of things pretty strong, 86.4% on trips into the red zone. I think, so we got 6 points, right? I think that I'm going to go with Arizona State plus the 6 points, but I think Utah wins by 3. That's where I am in this one, Mike, because they got the home field. What do you think?
I'm actually on Arizona. No, I'm actually on Utah. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
on Utah minus the 6. I'm going with coaching. I'm going with the better coach, Kyle Whittingham. I just spoke on coaches off a bye week. Utah is in that situation here. Off a bye week, Kyle Whittingham. This is 21st year at Utah. He's 25-14 off a bye week straight up. This Utah team is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 at home versus Arizona State. 4-2 straight up in those 6 games. Last year, Utah actually lost at Arizona State while being ranked. They lost by 8 points. That's the first time that in this matchup, a game has been decided by less than 10 points since 2014. So typically the team that wins in this one, they win pretty handedly. So go ahead and give me what I think is the better team overall. Better defense, better offense, better coaching staff, at home, night game. Give me Utah minus the 6 here.
All right. We got a real head-to-head there, my friend.
I love it. I love it. You got them, enjoy
All
'em.
right. You want to take us home and tell us about all the cool things we got going on in the next little bit, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. So I threw the recap up there so you guys can check that out real fast. We got a few games here for our podcast people. We got 4 more that we're going to talk with you guys. And then look for a separate video that we're going to drop here shortly where we're going to talk the Indiana-Oregon game. So biggest game of the week, maybe the biggest game of the year, especially in the Big Ten. So we'll be talking that game. That'll be a separate video that we'll release to y'all probably sometime tonight, if not tomorrow. And then our podcast people definitely stay on for these last remaining 4 games. Recap is up there on the board. If you haven't already, all our YouTube folks, please like, comment, subscribe. It really goes a long way for us. Let us know that you're in there. Make sure to check out shopcya.com. If you're going to any of these games this week, get you a cover. Get you a cover. Get that clear plastic bag cover. You know, when you're going through security, you snap it back on. You're good to go. Assets get covered. Make sure you go check them out. They have all sorts of different designs, licensed designs with all your favorite logos on there. Make sure to check them out at shopcya.com. Gator Dave, anything you want to say to our YouTube folks before we sign off?
I saw an ad on Instagram this week that kind of made me feel good from Shop CYA. Had the logos up there, and Mike, there was a Florida Gator logo there on one of the bags.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like,
Look at you.
man, I
Moving on
gotta
up.
get me one of them. Gotta get me one of them. Although Nirvana would make me.
We could
she
probably
made me get a Georgia one. I couldn't get a.
We could make that happen. I think we could figure that out.
I'm going there. So
we'll have our people talk to their people.
I like it. So to wrap things up on YouTube tonight, we appreciate everybody being on the being in the chat with us, being on the cast tonight. We appreciate it very much. Excited about this next week. You know, Mike has got me kind of pumped up and making me think that, you know, maybe there is a chance. Maybe there is a chance of a win this weekend. So I don't know. So I'm pretty fired up. Things will be changing next week. You won't see me live next week. I will be in Italy next week, but I promise you'll have my picks, and Mike will relay those picks to everyone here. Again, I appreciate everybody being on the broadcast. Please please subscribe, tell your friends about us, come see us, and oh, by the way, go Gators.
Go Canes, baby. Number two in the nation right now. We got a bye week. Number 2. All right, thanks everybody for watching, jumping in the chat with us. Podcast people, hold on shortly. Good luck to everybody. We'll see you next week.